Are you someone that has been taking Wegovy or Zepbound and are not losing weight? If so, you need to listen up and of course subscribe to my awesome channel. Wegovy Zepbound non-responders. What exactly do we know about these people? Well, first for a bit of background. The scientific community defines successful weight loss as a loss of greater than 5% from your baseline weight. As an example, if your starting weight is 240 pounds and you lost 5% of your baseline weight, that means you've lost 12 pounds or brought your weight down to 228 pounds. At that point, you are considered a responder or successful in weight loss, and if you lose further, great and fantastic, but the 5% is our cutoff. Now, when we look at the STEP-1 and SURMOUNT-1 trials with Wegovy and Zepbound, what we found is there's approximately 10 to 15% of individuals who did not reach that 5% cutoff while taking these medications. So, they did not respond to the medication. And in clinical practice, we see a similar result. And for another unfortunate statistic for you, only 20% of you that are watching this video are currently subscribed to my channel. So, if you haven't subscribed yet, you should definitely go down below, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications so you never miss out when I put out another video, and you can also help me feel really good about myself as I see that subscriber number go up. Now, there's a bazillion different factors that could be contributing as to why an individual doesn't respond to these medications. And broadly speaking, I've kind of divided these people that I see in practice up into 3 different groups. First up, we've got the true non-responders. These are the individuals that take one of these medications and don't get any appetite suppressing effects whatsoever. It's almost like they're taking a placebo. So while there might be some weight loss via lifestyle changes and that sort of thing, and they might even get health benefits in that the drug is still reducing their blood sugar levels and helping in other ways, they ultimately aren't getting the appetite reduction, that craving reduction response that we're looking for that allows them to achieve a calorie deficit and to lose a significant amount of weight. And the reason for this is, well, we're not really sure. It's likely going to be due to things like genetics, individual physiology and biology. Some people are just not going to be sensitive. They don't have a problem with the GLP-1 satiety pathway of things, or their body doesn't respond to the GLP type of hormone that's found in these drugs. Again, there's a lot of different reasons that could be going on here. Sometimes, if a person didn't respond to Wegovy and we switch them to Zepbound, they get a response, or even switching to Contrave, which has a completely different mechanism, then leads to that response. Ultimately, though, there's some people that don't respond to either Zepbound or Wegovy, and unfortunately, they're probably going to have to wait out a little bit longer until we get some newer agents on the market. The next group of people we have are what I call the slow responders. As you probably guessed, these are individuals that do respond to the medication, they do get some appetite craving reductions, but the amount of weight that they lose or the time that it takes to lose that weight is slower than average. So for an example, they might be losing only 1 to 2 pounds per month versus 4 to 8 pounds like some other individuals. So these individuals might be those that have significant genetic issues or concerns that are going to inhibit their ability to lose weight. They could have comorbid conditions such as diabetes, mental health concerns, and maybe with those conditions they have metabolic derangements or issues and require medications that could be weight promoting, all of which is going to kind of collectively go together and make losing weight that much more challenging and a much harder process. These might also be individuals who have a long history of yo-yo dieting, doing the extreme dieting and crashing, hit the bottom, then they way overeat, regain all of the weight, go on their next diet, crash out by losing a bunch of weight, and so on, and experience a number of metabolic adaptations. Or these individuals might have a lower level of consistency, closer to say 60 to 70% of sticking to diet and activity and that sort of thing with the medications, so they still get a response, but it's a slow response. Whereas when we get up to 80%, we get a more greater, faster, and continuous response because you are just more consistent. Now, this lack of consistency could be due to a number of different factors. Maybe their life just doesn't allow for it right now. Maybe there's other things that are going on. There's a plethora of things that can also contribute in this regard, but ultimately make the process of losing weight a more arduous and slower process. And other slow responders I would include are those that have significant side effects to these medications, and ultimately they require a slower kind of titrating the dose in smaller increments and that sort of thing over a longer time period before they get the full beneficial effects, just to get an acceptable tolerability so that they still have a great quality of life and are not suffering because they're taking a medication. So that whole process could just take more time. The next group we have are what I call the quick fix seekers. Again, as you probably guessed, these are people that are looking for a quick fix, but in reality, they just need more education around this process. In a lot of cases, they're comparing themselves to other people and have these very outlandish expectations about how much weight they should lose because they follow Susie on Instagram and saw that she lost 30 pounds in 1 month. Or they kind of look at weight loss as something that you do for a while and then stop. So you go all in, you diet, you cut the calories, you do all the activity, and then at one point you just stop doing it and somehow the weight is just magically going to stay off when you go back to your old patterns and behaviors. And hey, regardless of the kind of responder that you are, if you're looking for some additional support on your weight management journey, you can go to the link down below. You can book a free consultation with myself. We can talk about a few things, and we can also see if you're a good fit for my weight management program to support you on your journey to manage your weight and your health, not only today, but also forever. So go down below, click the link, and book in with me. So as I said, the quick fix seekers really are a group that actually just needs a lot of compassion and a lot of education. In particular, we need to set the appropriate expectations. You see, losing more than 8 pounds per month is going to be unrealistic for 99% of people. Even losing 8 pounds per month for most people is going to be unrealistic. Our expectation for weight loss is anywhere from 0.5 pound to 2 pounds per week being lost, and that averages out to about 1 pound per week for most people, which is about 4 pounds per month. And some weeks, there might be no weight loss whatsoever. You see, expecting to lose more than that or some greater number or what have you is really a recipe for failure. What's going to end up happening is you're going to step on the scale Friday morning, not see a number that you expected to see. You're going to say, fuck it, and go binge Friday, Saturday until you finally shame yourself enough Sunday that you say, all right, the diet then starts again on Monday. Another expectation that I often feel people have is this idea that these medications are magical, that they're just going to help the weight to fall off and you're not going to have to do any tweaks or changes along the way. Now, there's no doubt that some people out there will say that these medications are a miracle and that it helps them with their food noise and what have you, which is great and fantastic. But a lot of people still need to engage and make the lifestyle changes, increasing their activity, modifying their dietary patterns, reducing how much processed foods they're eating and such in order for weight loss to occur. And in fact, in all of the studies that were done with these medications, people were instructed to engage with a calorie deficit and to increase their activity levels. Now, another expectation problem that I not only see with the quick fix seekers, but other individuals as well, is this idea that the effort you put in should match how much weight loss you experience. Yes, again, if you compare yourself to other people, there might be people out there that it seems like they don't even have to try to lose weight. But, well, if you haven't figured it out yet, you really should stop comparing yourself to other people, because this is probably one of the main reasons why you have unrealistic expectations to begin with. But I digress. You see, losing weight, changing your lifestyle, increasing your activity is, well, fucking hard. And maintaining those lifestyle changes long term is even harder. And that's because humans are better designed to gain and hold on to fat than we are at giving it up and leaning out. As well, from our evolutionary past, we all have tendencies that make us more lazy, that make us focus on quick fixes and very big quick rewards, and they also make us resist change. These are all evolutionary-based quirks that kept us alive 30,000 years ago and were very good at keeping us alive because we lived in caves, food was scarce, we had to survive and hunt and gather, and so these mechanisms did their job and, well, we're here today in our modern environment that has now been perfectly adapted to, support and supply those human tendencies. Unfortunately, those individuals that were skinny, boring, open-minded, and high energy and constantly running around, well, they didn't get a chance to procreate and become our ancestors because they all died off. So we've got this monumental uphill battle just from a biologic evolutionary aspect of things that we're going to have to fight against. Combine that with our modern food environment that is full of highly processed foods that are designed to get you to eat as much as possible. That is all going to make losing weight and managing your weight extremely hard, extremely challenging, and again, a very big uphill battle to overcome. So no matter how much effort you are putting in, it is never going to match and give you a proportionate amount of weight loss in return. You're going to have to change your mindset, you're going to have to change your environment, and that may even include the people that you socialize with in order to lose weight and keep that weight off. I see far too many people that go on a weight loss journey and continue to drag their old patterns and behaviors behind them and ultimately regain that weight as soon as they fall off and they start engaging in the old patterns and behaviors that got them to that higher weight. So we need to check our expectations and stop looking at this as a sprint and then stop, and looking at this as a marathon, a journey, a process, something that you're going to do now and you're going to do it forever. And that is how you're going to ultimately lose weight and keep it off. So in conclusion, these medications are a tool that are going to make the process of losing weight a little bit easier. Unfortunately, not everyone is going to respond to these medications. Some people are going to be slow responders, and ultimately we need to find the balance of medication and lifestyle changes and so on that is going to work for you. And really, these drugs are not going to be a quick fix. You are going to need to put in a substantial amount of work in order to get the weight loss benefits that the medications provide. And the real secret sauce to success is going to be patience and consistency. Those are going to be your superpowers. Get very good at them and you can be successful. As well, if you haven't already done so, hit the subscribe button down below, turn on the notifications so you don't miss out when I put out another video. As well, check out the OG members membership side of my YouTube channel. With the OG members, I do a monthly live at the end of each and every single month where we talk about topics that don't show up on my regular YouTube feed. So if you want to check those out and interact with myself in real time, you should definitely sign up and become an OG member. And finally, check me out on my other social media channels. We're on the gram, the book, you name it. We are pretty much everywhere out there. And as I always sign off, please remember that it's going to be those small tweaks that lead to those massive peaks.